So all of these religious movements are involved. The United States, the Protestant world, the evangelical world will lead out, but they will have been so manipulated that the ecumenical mindset will be part of it. And anybody, whether they be of any religion out there, whatever it is, that is on the same wavelength when it comes to these moral issues is welcome to join. Even the Democrat will be very welcome as long as he takes this moral high ground, no matter what religion he supports.
Exactly.
Or she. Now, what I just said, Martin, is not conjecture, it's reality.
That's it.
And here's an interesting case that we're going to talk about now. The mayor of New York.
Yeah.
Now, New York is a pretty liberal city, and they are moving in this direction, religious direction. Now, not in the sense of conservative evangelicalism,
no,
but everything goes religion.
That's the thing.
But it's a moral issue.
So we must remember who's in control in New York. It's not the Republicans.
No, it's the Democrats.
Democrats. So yeah, interesting what's happening here.
So here's the spokesperson for the mayor. She's going to introduce him, and then he's going to speak for himself. Let's hear what they have to say.
We know in government, many times it's said that one has to separate church from state. But we have an administration that doesn't believe in that. We have a mayor who you will hear from shortly, who is definitely one of the chosen. He believes in what the faith-based community can do in partnership with government. He knows that all of the great initiatives throughout the course of our United States, if you look back at our historical plights and the goodness that has happened as a result historically in our country, has always been driven by faith-based initiatives.
The Creator has so many times to leave me, so many times to abandon me, but she has not. When we took prayers out of schools, guns came into schools. Ingrid was so right. Don't tell me about no separation of church and state. State is the body, church is the heart. You take the heart out of the body dies. I can't separate my belief because I'm an elected official. When I walk with God. When I talk with God. When I put policies in place, I put them in with a God-like approach to them. That's who I am. And I was that when I was that third grader, and I'm going to be that when I leave government. I am still a child of God and will always be a child of God, and I want to apologize about being a child of God. It is not going to happen. And so today we proclaim that this city, New York City, is a place where the mayor of New York is a servant of God. Thank you. Continue to pray for us.
All right, Martin, that sounds like a rousing speech, but his God was a she.
Yeah. The Creator is a she.
The Creator is a she. So that's fine. As long as you're with the pendulum, you're okay.
And this was an interfaith breakfast or something like that. So just to show you, it's very inclusive.
Very inclusive. Okay, so let's see what the New York Times reported on that little discussion. And Martin, this is all very current news, right? This is what's happening in the world right now. Adams discussing faith dismisses idea of separating church and state. Have we been saying this for a long time?
Well, you know, what you remember the outcry that the liberals had on liberal news and all of this about all this Christian nationalism talk, and Boo Bird that said she's tired of this separation of church and state junk. Yeah. Now,
here we go. All right, so the annual Interfaith Breakfast, hosted on Tuesday by Mayor Eric Adams, began normally enough. A choir sang a rousing rendition of My Country, 'Tis of Thee. A rabbi spoke, so did Buddhist and Muslim leaders, and then things started to get surreal. The mayor's closest aide, Ingrid Lewis-Martin, the one that we saw in the video introducing him, took the stage to declare that the Adams administration doesn't believe in separation of church and state, characterizing the mayor of New York City as definitely one of the chosen as she introduced him. Don't tell me about no separation of church and state. State is the body, church is the heart. You take the heart out of the body dies. I can't separate my belief because I'm an elected official, he continued over scattered applause. Mr. Adams, who grew up attending a storefront church in Queens, identifies as Christian, but of no particular denomination. He was elected to office with strong basis of support in church-going portions of the Brooklyns and Queens, but he also has a lowercase Catholic approach to spirituality and mysticism. He has at least one Buddha statue. He has spoken in earnest about the energy emitted from stones. So he's a mystic, Martin. But are we told that there is a union between the dragon, which is mysticism, the beast, which is Catholicism, and the false prophet, which is Protestantism? Do we have a perfect mix there?
There you go.
Babylonian confusion?
So you've got the same problem because you've got Christian yoga, you've got all this Christian mysticism, spiritual formation. This is all part of this nonsense. And you know what's the scary thing is the people that should know better, that's part of the remnant, are being sucked in by this.
All right, now let me just go back to prophecy. Babylon consists of the dragon, the beast, and the false prophet. The dragon represents God the Father.
Yeah.
In the false trinity.
The false one, yes.
God the Father. The beast represents the Son. Everybody has to bow down to him. He is the king. He is the one who's crowned, who's got the triple crown on his head. And he's the one that received a mortal wound, 1798, who had a resurrection.
Yes.
When Mussolini gave the Papal States back, the whole world will wonder after him. Every knee will bow. He's the false son. And then you have the false prophet, which represents fallen Protestantism. The three of them together. And ruling, the one who will sit on the throne, all judgment being given unto him, will be the beast.
Yes.
And you will have to accept his mark.
That's it. And also on the false prophet side, I was just thinking there's a false spirit running.
Of course, there's a false spirit. And all of them have to come together. Now, this mayor seems to have a bit of everything. He has the mysticism, which is dragon worship. He has the Catholicism, which is beast worship. Yep. And he identifies as a non-denominational Christian, which is false prophet.
That's it.
All of it together.